course, the happy evil was ready for his third adventure.
Alright, I don't know if we'll like it. I don't know if I'll spend more than 10 minutes on it. We're gonna just check it out today. I have like about 7 or 8 games I want to check out in the next week. So we're gonna be doing 1 or 2 a day until I figure out what I think of them. So we'll see. The gameplay looks a little bit to me like Dungeon Keeper, if any of you guys ever played that game. I loved Dungeon Keeper 2 growing up. It was super, super fun. So I'll see if it's like that. I don't know. Let's check out the campaign mode.
The shadow of absolute evil. The shadow of absolute evil had crossed the sea and now sought the chosen target, a dark elf named Talia. A long, long time ago, the absolute evil had, in the famous predecessor to this game, subjugated the known world and defeated good. Now, in a world full of blackness and despair, it spent its days sipping cocktails from the skulls of its enemies and forging new plans over a grilled unicorn kebab. Unfortunately, there wasn't much left to forge. A few orc wedges, the occasional trick played on the little snots. There just wasn't anything left to conquer. As the weeks and months passed, the absolute evil grew ever more reticent and seclusive. From time to time, one could hear a slight murmur from the depressed evil's super-secret laboratory in the depths of the dungeon. Its creatures grew more worried with each passing day, and even started to miss its ingenious evil tricks. It was a somewhat confusing time for them. No beatings, no torture, and no being sent to a senseless death. On the other hand, it was a rather nice change. Eons passed, and the unicorn supply dwindled until suddenly, one wonderful day, the evil genius evil joyfully burst from its super-secret laboratory. It finally had a new goal. An unknown continent, as often found in sequels, lay to the east, sheltered from the wicked evil by naught but a puny little ocean. It immediately had a fleet built. This was so powerful that it covered the horizon from north to south and was manned by the best and most powerful creatures at the devious evil's command. The fleet set sail for the crossing to this new continent, left the harbor, and sank. Yet that mattered naught to the couldn't give a hoot about its minions' evil. It instructed its goblins and little snots to design an even more powerful fleet. These new ships were gigantic. Loaded with devious evil's second-best creatures, the fleet set out. And that sank as well. The annoyed evil saved his relentless anger towards the shipbuilders for later. Obviously, it would have to take care of the matter itself. With a sigh, it cast a spell and created a shadow of itself, a creature of absolute darkness and evilness. This shadow flew across the water towards the east. There, it would find a vessel, a corruptible being that would subjugate this land in the name of evil, and the shadow had the perfect target in mind.
I volunteer. Okay.
The Great Paladin Tanos, hero of the totally Eastern Kingdoms and a repugnantly good fellow. He was visiting the fatiguing library in Tristram with his comrades to see his foster daughter Talia.
Well now, Talia, tell me about your studies. Are you making progress with the writings of the ancient sages?
Yes, dear father. I have thoroughly digested it and have come a step closer to the good. The desire within me to do evil is defeated.
Really? Excellent. I am proud of you, my child. Continue to concentrate on your studies. I must go to Stormbreeze to clear up a few matters. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, my loyal friend Grimly will protect the country. Should anything trouble you, you can turn to him. Isn't that right, Grimly?
Aye, of course, Janos. I'll keep an eye on the damned elf. I mean, your daughter. You can count on me.
A generous
Then
bestowal.
I'll see you soon, my friends. May the goddess watch over you, and the light burn eternally.
Bon voyage, dear father. I'll make you so proud of me. Who does good is good.
Yuck. Disgusting phrases like that always leave such a nasty taste in my mouth. These abnormally good heroes, on the other hand, had no inkling of the malignity gathered to the south. One moment a herd of sheep was peacefully grazing, and the next moment, whomp! With a fulminant explosive effect that ate up half our special effects budget, the shadow entered the world. His target, a dark elf caught between good and evil, was very close. As the shadow of the unspeakably evil moved through the world, all around it died. Plants withered. Animals perished. Sort of like a picnic with my family.
All right. Crazy Walnut, thank you very much for the donation. There's no message with your donation, so if you had something you wanted to ask or say in channel, please maybe let me know. But certainly I'll accept your money with no message attached if need be. I don't know quite, guys, what this is going to be like. Sometimes too silly can be too silly for me, but let's check it out. So we start with the shadow. We have 1,000 HP. Can you move it around? Right click to move, all right. WSD for movement. Minimap movement. I don't know where the fuck I'm going. This way, I guess.
The shadow of the far-off evil found itself very, very close to Twistram. It could practically feel its target's presence.
Take these lanterns, men, and let the light of the goddess shine. For the night is dark and full of terrors. And there's a pile of horse poo around here somewhere. I trod in it earlier. For the darkness! I mean, for the light! Sorry. I'm still in training.
Thanks, Crazy Walnut.
Yes, well, that is somewhat suboptimal. Naturally, the shadow of the almighty evil was an incredibly powerful creature. But, well, light was a bit of an issue. It would certainly be wise to stay out of the lantern light.
All right, what's my goal, though?
Lanterns! Lanterns everywhere! Lanterns! You'd think some nutcase hung them all over the place just to be irritating. I'm supposed to be the evil one here. Whatever. The shadow of the nestled cozily before the fireplace evil was extremely sensitive to light, and would inevitably take damage from it. It was important to avoid light as much as possible.
All right.
The shadow reached the entrance to Twistram. Fortunately, this one was not closed, but it was brightly lit. Luckily, there was an unfortunate guard on patrol that the shadow was able to possess, thanks to its incredible powers. As long as it wasn't in the light, the shadow of absolute evil melded with the guard and took control of his body. Thus, it was able to pass through the gate with ease.
What was that? I think there was something wrong with that last beer.
Unfortunately, the shadow's possession only lasted a short while before the guard was able to free himself. Still, it was long enough to get past the gate. The shadow's target was close. So close. Talia. the Dark Elf. Soon she would fight on the side of evil.
May the goddess be with you, my friends. It will soon be time to open the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Come to the big square and join in the festivities.
Alright, I find myself smirking despite myself a little bit.
I don't know.
I had actually kind of planned to spend the evening in the bathhouse.
Friends, this orphanage is very important to my father. Tanos, you know, the mighty paladin, the one you really don't want to offend.
Yeah, all right. We'd love to come.
Excellent! May the light of the goddess shine upon you, and let us experience this exhilarating spectacle in the big square together. Follow me, my friends, for evil, the light, I mean. Keep the light burning bright, for the night is dark and full of terrors or errors or something like that.
Oh, I should update the channel title, shouldn't I? Oh, give me 2 seconds, guys, to do that. Alright. Hey, matter. Let's go figure out what we're supposed to do with this lovely evil dark elf over here. He moves around with the lantern? What an asshole. It's a good way to do an intro, I think. So you don't have to listen to all the crap for so long. They all have lanterns? Can I possess from outside a lantern light? Or do I just have to race through it temporarily? Maybe that's what we do. I wonder how much damage it does. Is it like a kill? Come back over here. I don't think I can get him. If not, okay, only possess him if he's not in the light. So we gotta bring someone who doesn't have light over there, maybe? Is there someone like that over this way? They're all seem to be standing in the light to me. Oh no, our first task and we're failing. I'm just gonna try clicking on him, see what it does then. See if we can get him while he's in the light. What happens if he spots me? Well, it does nothing when I click on him though, because he's in the light and I can't possess him. Okay. Yeah, I see the mage do, but I don't see a way to him. There's, I mean, I guess this guy moves. Does he move enough? I guess he moves enough. Okay. Alright, go away. A little bit faster in my lifetime. Thank you. Oh, you know what else I need right now? I should have done this before, so I should have checked that on intro on this. Alright. Okay, did that fuck up anything?
Stop holding the lantern in my face like that, boy. I am Grimly, king of the dwarves, and I am used to the cold, dark tunnels under the mountains. I have no need of any stupid lamp shining into my eyes.
No. Can I not possess him again? He walks back? Does he have some sort of hostile spell I could like blow? Oh, he's a little... No, he's not. Can I blow this area up?
A dark elf is a dark elf, and nothing will change that. The girl will always be tainted. Should have cut her ears off when I had a chance.
Alright, we'll have to go further this way then, I guess, and figure out something. Just pass through this light instead of going back around. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. What happened if I lightning somebody right now?
Yeah. Enough chit-chat, men. You stay here and secure the area. I have to go check my invention. Stay alert. I can feel something evil lurking in the area. And it's not just that damn pointy-eared... I mean, that elf.
After this cliched monologue, Grimly disappeared into the darkness. The impatient evil shadow set off again. In the distance, one could hear the unbearably good bells of a church. They must be marking the opening of the orphanage in the fatiguing library. Heroes, with lanterns, began to stream in that direction. The crossing on a red signal evil shadow swore, or would have if it had a mouth, and tried to avoid the lanterns as much as possible.
Jesus. Alright, get out of the way.
In the fatiguing library for our goddess, and in the name of my father Tanos, I'm glad to see so many of you here of your own free will.
We just possess her?
Finally, the time had come, and the shadow of the passes in the slow lane evil was within range of Talia, the Dark Elf. The time had come for it to use its incredible powers to possess her for a short time.
My dear father would be very proud were he with us today. He would be overjoyed to see us give the young and the needy a place to live and thrive. That's why I'm happy to take this orphanage and destroy it utterly, and all of you with it.
What did she say?
Die!
Yes.
Like lambs to the slaughter! I feel the power within me. Oh, it's over 9,000!
Unimagined powers surfaced in Talia, the black magic of the Dark Elves. She immediately began to unleash these powers of chaos upon the world.
I'll tear you to pieces!
The Dark Elf raged through Twistrom's inexperienced guards. She thereby built up a tremendous inner energy, which she released into the world as a focus beam, while screaming, Kamehameha! Meanwhile, in the fatiguing library, they waited eagerly with coffee and cake for Talia to show up and open the new orphanage. The energy beam hit the cake with a resounding zap and reduced it to ashes. Oh yes, and the rest of the building and everyone inside it as well. The narcissistic evil patted itself on the shoulder for this. Or it would have, but the metal armor always made such a terrible clunking noise when it tried. But then again, that's what little snots are for. Obviously, the Dispatch Shadow had found a perfect vessel in the Dark Elf. Talia had already earned the title of Employee of the Month, with the utter destruction of the fatiguing library, as well as half of Twistrom. The destruction of an orphanage and the bombardment of innocent citizens with magic missiles immediately made her the minion-wasting evil's new favorite henchperson. Her evil deeds complete, Talia withdrew into the vaults beneath the ruins of the fatiguing library. There, between the slaughterhouse and Mad Archbishop Lazarus's apartments, she prepared to create something powerful in the name of the absolutely ultimately evil. A dungeon heart, the cornerstone of any dungeon's power. Far away, Paladin of Light and Talia's former mentor, Tanos, was on his way to the Empire's capital of Stormbreeze. Naive and trusting as he was whistling cheerfully to himself, with no inkling of his foster daughter's dark deeds. Though he was aware that as a Dark Elf, she always had a core of evil in her. He had hoped to defeat it through religious indoctrination with ancient mad writings. Well, old bean, you thought wrong.
All right.
Twistram in ruins. Talia, the Dark Elf, had turned to evil and laid the fatiguing library in ruins. Now she began to build a small power base in its vaults. Her first dungeon.
Just a second. Yeah, get rid of that little black line. Then we should be good to go. So what is this, the next one?
The Shadow of Absolute Evil. The Shadow of
Oh no, I already did
Absolute
that one.
Evil
So this is the
had
next one.
crossed the
I thought I
sea.
hit play. Oh, there we go. Okay. I think it's supposed to be an
Looked like
RTS
the
at some point.
leftovers from a heavy metal concert.
What? What have I done? Oh no! I've fallen to evil again. Father will be beside himself. He was right when he said, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Although, in a way, it was fun to be evil. Burning things, pillaging, and showing those nasty goody two-shoes where the hammer hangs. They just look down at me anyway. My revenge will be terrible.
While Talia was delivering a typical villainous monologue, something happened around her. From the depths arose a pulsating crystal, filled with the magic-savvy evil's power. A dungeon heart. Not to be confused with those dungeon hearts from other games. We don't want to be sued again.
Hello, greetings. What seems to be your boggle?
Secret mental messages were exchanged between Talia and the mentally savvy evil's crystal. We could explain this in detail at this point, but that would require a 3-hour monologue on my part, and I am definitely not being paid enough for that.
Writing's hit or miss.
Right then. I will make these people suffer for mocking me. Father's henchmen never liked me anyway, and always insulted me, calling me pointy-eared. It's time for my well-deserved revenge!
The game logic internalizing evil had given Talia an assignment. Out there on the surface were shamelessly good places in urgent need of destruction.
Nah, no problem. I'll take care of it. I and an evil army.
Naturally, the strategically well-versed evil did not send its new general into battle alone. A dungeon had to be built, and creatures hired to provide her with a powerful army. Of course, the sophisticatedly thinking evil already knew which way the wind blew in a dungeon. However, should it be hit by short-term memory loss, it could effortlessly look up things in the fabulous almanac.
Oh yeah? What almanac? Alright. Oh, there's stuff on the side. Room construction. Traps and doors construction. This is very reminiscent of Dungeon Keeper 2 to me, except a little more silly, which was a pretty silly game to begin with.
The grandiose evil's helpers had not been idle. Well, they hadn't exhausted themselves either, but anyway, there were now some research projects the researching evil could pursue. The new improved research menu, TM, was now available.
Yeah, we can move stuff out of the way for now. We'll probably readjust if we play this game for any length of time, but for now I just wanted basic setup. Okay, so there's the almanac. That's the research menu.
The new improved research menu, TM, opened and gave an overview of currently available technologies. At the moment, the selection was still limited, but that would change. After all, this evil crusade had only just begun.
Heart of your dungeon contains the dungeon heart, a source of your power, as well as the egress and room for a little gold. If your dungeon heart is destroyed, then you're just another notch in some hero's weapon. Okay. So, treasury. Gobbler farm. More creatures. More little snots. Hideout. Naga. Improved horde. Let's do this. Idolize you. Oh, this is just general research. Alright, let's go for this. Would I buy research? It's not a progress. Okay, how do I get out of here? Creatures. Opens the creature menu. Goblins. Melee fighters that can't take much deal a lot of damage. It's strange. Goblins have inconspicuous skill. Orcs. Melee have plenty of life. It's just the blind rage skill. Alright, where are my buildings? Room construction. What do we have right now? This is very much like Darkest Dungeon. Alright, tell our imps what to do. We slap them? Yeah, we fucking can. They work harder with slapping? Have a little treasury room, but it's not very big.
Payday.
You should build with tiles, right? How big it needs to be, does it tell me? Used to have tile restrictions, and certain tile restrictions would do certain things. Let's just build a 3x3 for now and see what it does. What's my treasury hold up to? Tell me if I mouse over it somewhere. What is he, a goblin? Looks like I have to give him some room. Alright. Oh, I've got someone on. Oh, I didn't mean to pick you up. Sorry, dude. I forgot I could drop them in locations to make them do things. How is this not just a straight... I wonder if it's by the same people or if it's a straight stealing of stuff. Alright. Alright, let's see what it says about treasury. And about the, what was it, the hideout? Tell me how big it is. Short pass increase your creature's productivity. Build the hideout near the Tinkerer's Caves to your horde creatures. Alright, so I forgot there's a bunch of other things we can do. Can we build the other buildings right now? There's like things you can do for your guys to train. There's like things you can do for your guys to research for you. We gotta get some creatures. Last time creatures... In the other game, creatures would show up through the portal based on the terrain that you'd built them. I wonder if this is similar. Or if it's just I actually placed them. Let's build just a little bit more of this. And let's take a look at the rest of the creatures. Doesn't look like I'm getting more over here. How did that research work? Where is the research? Spell, army, creatures. Talia, the 2 guys I just recruited. Okay. Not loving the selection noise. Research menu. Okay, we researched the hideout. Can we go further? What does it take me? Gold? No, this is not gold. This is something else. What is this point? We gotta look that up in the almanac. Heroes, creatures, rooms, spells. No, I want to know. Maybe under research. I do love the traps too. The traps are super fun. I don't know how to build more of this resource that I need for researching. Maybe I have to get this other one. This one just costs gold. It says no lecture hall. So I have to get a lecture hall. I can improve her. How do I get a lecture hall? I don't know. Alright, let's just do some things.